Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okie dokie. Put that down. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, all those in between. Welcome back to Spartan923 Gaming. I'm your host, Spartan923, aka Firehawk5150, aka Lucas. And we are here on our first ever Let's Build Saturday, where we are going to be working on this monster of a build, the Gojulas Zoid from the Zoids franchise. This one was made by Kotobukiya. I'm sure I said that wrong. Kotobukiya. And sounds like Baby Bray just took a slip. So yeah, we are going to be building this Zoid. As you can see, the box back there is massive. That is the box. It is as big as my torso, pretty much, and I have all my frames laid out back here. So as we go along in the process, we will be doing that, taking care of that. So I'm going to pause the music here. There we go. I happened to go into YouTube audio library and find some uncopyrighted music, royalty-free music. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. It's gonna be awesome. Whew, sorry, but I have all my frames laid out in alphabetical order, and so if you see me turn away, it usually means I'm turning for a new frame, because the instructions here are all over the place. So, why a Let's Build? I have had several people on Discord, as well as people in real life, suggest this because of Zoids that I've shown online and all that. So, I mean, for example, I have my Berserk Fury here, the stripped down variant that I have in, if you've seen the series, there is a diagnostic chamber that they kept it in. I have it in diagnostic form at the moment. So it is waiting to be unleashed, so to speak. I'm also keeping it in this style for now because I'm going to be detailing this after the Gojulas. So I'm super excited about that. I've started detailing it a little bit on a few parts. But yeah. And also, it will help me, if people have questions about a Zoid or something like that, it'll help me explain a few things as well. Now, before anyone gets on me about it, I am not a Zoid expert. I know a little bit about it. I know a little bit of the lore. I am not a die-hard, completely knowledgeable person. I will be jumping onto the Zoid library that they have, the Iron Library, as it's called, and we will be, I will just skim through that and give you guys as many answers as we can. We'll be talking about the Gojulas itself. We'll be talking about its variant, Gojulus the Ogre, which is big in the battle lore. I am also willing to talk about some of the other models I have, which I have 3 sitting on my desk. I have 2 Liger Zeros and the Berserk Fury here. And this is actually a card table, not a desk. My desk is here. But once we get started, I am going to angle us down so that you'll see the build surface only, and then I'll bring things in. I have notes on like zoom and all that stuff, on like my zoom angles and all that. Do bear with me. If it becomes too much of a hassle, I'll get another camera, a cheap one, for close-ups, but as of right now, we just have the one camera, and you'll have to bear with me on the zooms, because I have to go in and actually physically change it via OBS settings, so bear with me on that. Other than that, I don't really have much else to say, so we're going to go ahead and get on into the build here. Um, we'll open up the book and get that going. Let me get this here because I forgot to say hi to chat. Hi, chat. All right, let's get the music going again. So, if you bear with me, I do have to align this camera. There's a piece of tape on the desk that helps me align it, so bear with me. It shouldn't take too long. Nope. Build cam. There we go. All right. Okay. Down to there. Almost. That looks good. Okay. All right. So I have my tools here. Y3 permanent markers. These are fine. These are ultra fine tip permanent markers I use for detailing. Um, the tape is mostly if I need to trim off something and make a clean line with a marker on an uncut surface. So I'll do that. And then also I have wipes for my fingers, and for my smear technique, which you guys will learn. I have a pair of pliers that sometimes come in handy for me to get stuff. Just those there. See? Uh, the game controller is out because I need something dynamic going on in the background for me. So I have a puzzle going on. I have a puzzle video going on YouTube. Uh, I will be listening to the music on my headphones. Um, so yeah. Um, my phone will be over here because last thing I need is you guys seeing anything on my phone. All right. So, all right, you little spawn of darkness. Let's get you out of the way. Um, put you right over here. Don't you fight now. I also have. I recently got some new platforms, and I've got a jumping Liger Zero going on here. So, yeah, it's one of my personal favorites, and there's armor coming in for that. So, all right. Sound check. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so Gojulas. Okay, let's get the music going again. All right, so what to know about a Gojulus? Well, first thing, there is no named Gojulus. Let me turn. There is no significant named Gojulus, say for a variant called Gojulus the Ogre. Which originally I thought this was going to be, but it wasn't. It was just Gojulus, which is still fine. We have some very interesting artwork here. Yeah, here we go. I can show you guys this here. Like, it's all in Japanese. You see him blasting. We've got like the breakdown of the weapon system, all that. We've got artist rendering. Oh, too bright. There we go. We got artist renderings there. Then, of course, it shows the assembly breakdown of everything. Right there. I'm trying not to white you guys out. I know I have horrible overhead lighting, but Uh, and then this is the frame layout. It tells me all the frames I have, or runners. Yeah, and then we have our first page instruction. So I am going off of all the instructions that it has here. So, for the tools here, pretty much what it tells me is what frame I need to pull from and everything else. Uh, I use these snips to help me get a clean cut, and sometimes I use them to help break off a little bit more of the frame that gets left behind. So, yeah. Let's see. The first frame we are going to need is K1 and K1 and K1X and K1. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. JK. That's K2, K1. K1 and X. So there's our frames, K1, KX. As you can see for this, I have flagged each one of these with their frame number and letter. So I could work on this significantly faster if I needed to. Everything's still there. Okay, so I also have a list of questions that are normally asked for this specific subject, so I will be answering those as well. Let me get my drink, because I'm probably going to talk myself to death. All right, first question. What is a Zoid? Okay, a Zoid. Okay, Zoid actually is a acronym. Well, it's a shortened term. It is short for Zoic Androids. So, as far as like production history, is a franchise has been. It is a model franchise that's been being made in Japan for a long time, since the 1980s. Yeah, 1982, first released. Majority of them were 172 scale, which is what we are working on. So yeah. Okay, so let's get started here with Gojulas. Looks like we're starting with the cockpit. So let's see what our first frames are going to be. So X, we need from you 15. So 15 there. Take our snips, and you want to always check to make sure, because sometimes it will say do not cut in certain spots. But this one seems I can do flush cuts right up on the edge. I probably should have my phone at least have the chat next to me. But I have it like right up on my screen. But when I focus on these, I tend to lose it. So, as you can see, I had a little bit of leftover debris on there until I took my shears, and I just kept skimming it till it went flat. Yeah. There we go. Now, looks like a little bit of detailing could be done on this. So, we're going to go ahead and take our marker. Do that, and that's where usually I'll have one of these out, and then I'll just take my hand. I do what's called smudging, which is just getting the excess off. It kind of adds a bit of what you would call weathering or greasing, or adding a bit of dirt to the model. Sometimes I have to go through, and this is sometimes where my little tweezers will come in handy, but it looks like I got most of it. So, but yeah. Okay. So, as far as what a Zoid is, as far as in lore, a Zoid is is a alien form of life on a planet called Z. Hang on, I'm going to try to show that detailing. Um, oh, back it up, back it up, back it up. Let me try bringing the zoom in on this. Next go property, configure camera, control. Bring it into about. That should do. Okay. Nope. Still not enough. I actually have a assigned uh, zoom that's a lot better to use. So let me just take it to that. All right. So we're zoomed in. So I'm sure we're washed out with light here. So yeah, we're really washed out. Okay, let's drop the exposure. Okay, that might have darkened a bit. There we go. Let's see here. All right. So as you can see, all these lighter bits are without the detailing, but you can see how this tooth really stands out with the Sharpie line on it. So uh, that is what the detailing does. It kind of makes it pop out a bit more. So um, if I was to bring it closer, you can see how it's more outlined on that tooth there, and all these other ones are pretty just regular. So yeah, not my best work. If we get another camera in here, definitely will help. Get that back to what it was. Done. Okay, so it is a Zoid is an alternate form of life on the planet Z, which evolved differently. Instead of just stopping at mere flesh and blood animals, they ended up becoming biomechanical, um, along with the people, which on planet Z were called Zoidians, um, which, depending on what lore you listen to, they still live, or in some cases, they are an ancient, like Atlantean version for planet Z. Um, like what Atlanteans would be for us, it's what Zoidians are for Planet Z. Some of the Zoidians still live, but they are because that's because they were like preserved in tanks. Uh, but as far as the wildlife ended up evolving to be biomechanical. So as it progressed, like the lungs and stuff would become more component-like instead of just regular lungs. The bodies became metallic and kind of metallic organic and became protoforms, so to speak. And then with intervention, ended up evolving strictly for combat. Um, the Zoidians would use them like battle mounts, mostly like how you would use a horse or uh, in some wild fictions, riding a velociraptor or something like that. Um, so, yeah, it's pretty interesting how that lore came to be. But then you ask, well, how could these, which are animals, were they gigantic? Were they? Uh, I mean, some were like the Ultrasaurus, and the Gojulas. Those were massive ones. The Death Soar was definitely huge. That's looking really good. So The Death Soar was massive. I actually believe that Death Soar was one of like the first created battle variants, or one of the first like maliciously created ones. I don't know. I think it was actually experimental altogether. I could be wrong. Um, it's pretty much the equivalent of the devil in Zoid lore. The Death Soar is. Everyone keeps saying that Gojulas is a Godzilla reference. It's not. It is listed as a T Rex Zoid. Um, and I believe no one ever really says that it is like based off of Godzilla, but they all think Gojulas looks like Gojira, yada yada yada. It very well could be, but they usually say that Death Soar, the Death Soar, was the Godzilla equivalent of a Zoid, um, because it was just so unnatural. Um, so, how did Zoids become giant fighting machines? Well, good question. Some Zoids, when they were pretty much tamed, uh, developed ways to be ridden. So they would like when they evolve with kind of a seat or something like that, and then later on some evolved cockpits. Um, then when the Zoidians started using them for bigger combat, they started making combat forms. Now, the combat form is a little different than, well, it's actually massively different. Um, it takes the Zoid itself, or at least the consciousness of the Zoid, which is a Zoid core. If you want to know what that is, I can show you what a Zoid core is. Uh, Pulled it from Berserk Fury here. You don't need it. You're sleeping. All right. So, there it is. Okay, so a Zoid core, that little red ball in there. We can actually pull out Gojulises if we need to. Close that. So more to the point. I really don't want to cut this open too much because I don't want to lose this Zoid core and have a Zoid without a core. That would be horrible. It's like not having a soul. But that is a Zoid core, which over the evolutions, the Zoid would, its lungs, organs, everything, all of its organs and internals would become this little battery, so to speak. It's hey Freddy, nice to see you. This little battery is like a nuclear reactor, but several hundred times more efficient. Um, with it, Zoids technically, I don't know how long Zoids supposedly are supposed to live for, but as long as this core is running, the Zoid is alive. Um, and so what would happen is you would have a protoform Zoid, which would be like look like a metallic T-Rex or something like that. We're using the Berserk Fury for this, and then you would extract its core from it, and then you'd have a bigger combat model, like the actual Berserk Fury, and you'd put the core in there, and then the Zoid itself, its essence, takes over the machine, giving it a new life as a combat machine. So, more you know. Do I have a favorite Zoid? I do. I actually have several favorite Zoids. As far as like my all-time a number one. Uh-oh, I dropped the Gojulas' Zoid core. As far as a number one, never let me down, never give me up kind of Zoid is Liger Zero. Liger Zero it was the first Zoid that I really like got attached to, and I'm sure everyone's like, of course, he falls in love with the hero Zoid, yada 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 yada. Yeah, I did. So big whoop. Um, I also love all of its variants. Panzer, Schneider, Jaeger, all them. It sounds like I might have guests. Let's see here. That done. Smear there. Hello. Hey, Bubs. Yep. Okay. Hang on. Ah, there's the audio. All right. Hello. Come here. Come here.
Mommy forgot you were doing your building street.
It's fine. He can come down for this. He's the baby. It's not those. He's little guy. He's looking at everything. Oh, you got a little buggy bite. Good. You had nuggies?
And apples and fries.
Ooh. You really want Daddy's sharp objects, don't you? Oh. Yeah. Daddy's working on it finally. That Zoid that's big as you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. No.
He's like, touch everything.
No. I'm a happy little buddy. No. No, don't take Daddy's fruit punch. He's only got 2 left. He needs them both for this stream. What he's trying to escape?
Escape.
All right, Bubsy. Well, thank you for coming down. I'll see you on my break.
No, that's Daddy's.
That's Daddy's.
You got juice upstairs.
Yes. All right, Bubby.
I'll see you later, Daddy.
See you later, bud. All right. Okay, so let's get back to the detailing on this. We're almost done. Now, this isn't going to be like a competition grade detailing job or anything like that. I do not compete with my models, so there will be times where I'll just be like, nah, I'm not detailing that part. So, yeah. Any questions from the chat at all? Feel free. Let me check my audio library. Yep, there we go. All right, so other thing on... So the Gojulas was rolled out on production. ZAC, I gotta look up what that means. In the Helix Republic of 2030 in the Zoids lore. So maybe a government out there building one of these. It is a type dinosaur, of course. It has a height of 26 meters. It has a length of 26 meters. It has a height of 21 meters. It has a weight of 230 tons. I believe that's what that means. It has a max speed of 75 kilometers per hour. Yeah. Let's see here. It has a huge array of weaponry. And it also has additions to said weaponry as well. Like I said, there's a variant called the Ogre, which is like the one variant of it that everyone's like, oh, the Ogre, ooh, the Ogre. Yeah. Okay, so we got the detailing on the teeth done, so we can go ahead and get K20. Oh, that's terrifying. Well, that's probably not going to be seen. So, there we go. Snip's done. So it's at this point where I will usually say, how much effort do I want to put into this? And number one, this is the roof of the mouth. And I want to see. Yeah, the roof of the mouth is not shown a lot in a lot of these poses. So, and it doesn't look like anyone detailed the roof of the mouth. So we might be dodging a bullet there. So, goes like that. Then we need K6. Sometimes just spin out of there, so. But then they leave these lovely little tails, so I just take the sharp blade, and there we go. All good. There we go. Now, before you all worry about it, I know that I am pulling towards myself with a sharp blade. I have done this enough that I'm well aware that I can nick myself and really cut myself pretty bad, but I've done this enough that I should be fine. But if you're a youngin' out there and you've never seen this before, please cut away from yourself with sharp objects. Detail line there. Smudge that out. Fill in that line. Yeah, it gives nice sharp lines on there. There's not much else I can really detail on that except for that groove. So, now we need K6 and 7. So let's be careful about this. So there's 6. Snap that. Gotta be careful sometimes. These very tiny. Trim off a little bit there. There we go. Okay. Now, there are a few lines here that I can hit. Very tiny. Oh yeah, I will tell you, these fine tips get destroyed when I do this. So, I know that there are specific like line markers for models like this, but when I last went to get some, they say that it's very, very hard to get black ones. So I just opted for the easiest solution. Little console that sits forward and then goes back. Oh, wait a minute. I may have put that in backwards. There we go. Gotcha. almost forgot a step. I also need the seat. It's K3. Silly me. Here we go. See, I don't really do cockpits much. I think I only did it with my Liger Zero Imperial um, because of how brown it was. It just really looked empty. So, yeah. There we go. Cockpit in there. And let's see. And put you in. Of course, this. Tacker. Perfect. Goes forward. Allowing our pilot in there. Yeah, there we go. And then put our teeth on. The roof of our mouth. There we go. Durr. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, he's got some freaking teeth. Um, ooh, okay, so we're gonna keep the K1 frame. I can put X away for now. But I will need the Z2s. So I have the Z2s. And I still need the K1. And that'll be fine. Okay. Okay. So Gojulas' weapons is a 70 millimeter two barrel heavy machine gun, two of them on the belly, an AMD 30 millimeter two barrel beam cannon on the tail, uh, and that's two of those on the tail. Uh, excuse me. I was holding a burp and it went crazy. Maybe next time I should put my stream up on the screen in front of me so I could just see how dumb I look. Anyway. It has a ARZ 20 millimeter beam gun on the left arm. And then it has two crusher claws, which are the hands. It has a hyper bite fang in the jaws, which is what them teeth are. It has a Maxer 30 millimeter multi-purpose machine gun, two of those on the tail as well. Panova 20 millimeter surface to air beam cannon, two of those on the tail as well. And then it has a TRZ 20 millimeter linear laser gun on the right arm, and that's the standard issue equipment for a Gojulas. So, and for some people out there, there was actually a marine aquatic variant of the Gojulas. It looked a little different, but I I thought that was a bit ridiculous. So if you want to check that out, definitely look in the Iron Bible. It exists there. So imagine that T-Rex being underwater. frame residue off there. Alright. So there's no order for this to be put on. So do that. Okay, that did leave a little bit of a stress mark, but nothing huge. So we're gonna keep moving along. Um, we're gonna use the yellow set of eyes on this one because that's the one that's on the box. They gave me two variants. They gave me clear and they gave me yellow, and I'm going to go with the yellow because they just pop out more. There we go. Okay, so these I gotta be careful with because you can crack these and put stress marks on them. I learned this with my Venusaur and my Liger Zero X is that cutting clear items can leave stress marks and can crack them. You have to be very gentle. Doesn't help that these have to fit into a fitted area. Most people will do this with a file. I'm fairly confident with my trimming. I should be okay. So let's get that eye together. That's seated in there nice. Yep. Come on. Marker flow went a little sour on me. There we go. That. I do have a buddy of mine that calls what I do, even though I call it panel lining and smearing, he likes to call it road dusting. So like when you drive on a dirt road and your car gets all dusty, that's pretty much what he's referencing there. So yeah. Ah. Why that feels like that's not seated in there right. This is where it gets a little odd with models, is sometimes it feels like pieces don't go in like they're supposed to. Okay, so that is fully seated. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm worrying about nothing. stood out to me that I didn't want to see. Gentle. Celestial Distortion's a weird song. Uh, let's see. Can we look into on Gojulas now? Hang on. I'll bring back up the Iron Bible. Okay. So there are no like super recognizable pilots. I mean, I can tell you one, but that was technically a Gojulus the Ogre. Oh, that's it's so much better now. If you watched Zoid's Chaotic Sentry, Irvine, the mercenary, he piloted a Gojulus. Um, they actually even paint schemed it for him. It was pretty interesting. Um, the Gojulus stands as one of the Republic's most powerful Zoids, and at the time of its original deployment, it was borderline invincible. Uh, Even in 2099, it's still considered a strong, one of the strongest combat Zoids amongst the existing military units. It wasn't until the Empire developed the Iron Kong that Gojulus began to see more competition. Iron Kong is a giant, like ape style. Um, so yeah. All right. All right. So eventually there was a Mark II, which is what led to the ogre itself. Um, they added cannons on the back of it. Two gigantic cannons. Which, if I want to pay uh, $50, I can turn this into an ogre variant. Uh, what you would call a bastard ogre variant, because it wouldn't have the same support struts on the tail as the ogre, um, but it would have the weaponry, which is a, I believe, four-barreled cannon gauntlet that goes on the arm, and two massive buster cannons that go on the back. So, so I could turn this into a false ogre, so to speak. Will shadows be? Yes, shadows will be back on Tuesday. Um, this will be taking over Saturday till the model's done. Let's see, a little bit of road dirt. What's it look like this thing's actually been used? Just some of the grease is pitted up and caked in a bit. How did I come up with this technique? My technique I came up with from an art class I took when I was studying out of, well, out of, not out of state, but out of city, so to speak. I was, I was at college up different part of my state, and one of the courses I could take was an art class, and I took that class because it worked out for what I was trying to do. I was trying to be a graphic designer, and they required a standard art class. One of the hardest things I did was a gradient test, which is uh, pretty much how many shades of gray can you make, and there are, I believe, several different shades of gray, not just 50, as some people would say. So, up, up. That's gonna cause a stress point. Come on, come on. Oh, good catch, arm. Gotcha. Where are we at? Have we had an hour yet? Thing is this model isn't about speed. It's about us just having time spending it here and talking. Another drink. Tasty. Sounds a bit like the Eagles. Polish that up. Perfect. You got them two yellow eyes staring back at you. Yeah. All right. So next, so we're gonna need some new frames here. Looks like K1's still gonna have some use. Looks like we're pulling from T1, A, and B. All right. T1 frame. Perfect. Just rattled the whole table. I apologize. Got my chair stuck. Okay. Did I kill the audio? Ah, my ears. Oh, my dear. Whew. Whew. Let's be a wee bit loud. Alright, so set you aside. Alright, so from B, we need B2 and B1. Okay. So this looks like the top of the muzzle. Or mouth, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but I believe in the Chaotic Century series, when Irvine tried to pilot the first time, he was passed up for a different pilot. Um, which is interesting because sometimes they say a Zoid calls out to a pilot sometimes. Um, and the interesting story with Irvine is that he had a developed relationship with his Zoid, which was a Command Wolf. I'm not sure if the Command Wolf had a name, so to speak. I think he just called it Wolf. Um, but they had a very, uh, how will I say this? Very strong bond, to the point of which when his Command Wolf was in. Oh, spoiler alert. When his Command Wolf was injured to the point of no return, they opted for the idea of transferring the Zoid core. Um, he opted to do it at the risk of the Zoid never really truly being the same or being probably totally lost. Uh, so, and he ended up putting it into a Lightning Sykes, and the rest was history then. Irvine became a speed demon. He was one of the few people who could control a Lightning Sykes outside of its control gear, which they had like weighted gear on the thing to keep its speed down. And even then, the pilots were like, I can't handle this thing. Ah. A bit more smudge than I wanted. Not really what I wanted. If I keep rubbing off with this, it'll come out. Yeah, see, it just really makes these pop when I get that detailing in there. Let me see if the camera's gonna. Yeah, so you can see those little dark spots. So, like right up here on the nose, right there on that circle, this little bit here. It all just makes it stand out a lot sharper. I do find it funny that in another anime I was watching, which was one of those Atomi game animes, I forget what the name was. It was like My New Life as the Villainess or something. It's where a otaku dad gets transport. He gets knocked unconscious and is capable of controlling his daughter's Otami game, which Otami game is one of those dating sim games. I believe I'm saying it right. I don't know, but he gets knocked unconscious and becomes the villainess in that series. Oh, I like how that looks. Oh yeah, that really makes that work a lot better. That looks like it was blasted in the face and they never got the residue out of it. Yeah, I like that. Don't think I was originally going to do these slats up here on the front of the nuzzle, but all right. Oh yeah, that's looking great. Really good right there. That looks so much better. Okay. Um, what next on the Gojulas? So primarily, Gojulas were a melee unit. If you can imagine this thing just coming up and just ripping your Zoid apart, just oh my gosh, that's terrible. Uh, it could dismember enemies with ease. However, it was a very slow Zoid, terrible maneuverability. Uh, its slow speed could be further limited by the presence of small-scale enemy units, who often got in the way. When the Gojulas first rolled out into the battlefield, it was mockingly referred to as the block-headed mech by friends and foe alike. After a while, the Republic considered converting Gojulas into a working class Zoid, but that role wasn't suitable for something so huge. Um, its fierce reputation developed with the addition of firearms. Larger Zoids continued to develop. The Republic was prompted to improve on their original design. They renovated the Gojulas with a number of different firearms, eventually creating the Mark II Spec, a new one dedicated to long range combat. So I could turn this one pretty much into a Mark II Spec uh, if I wanted to. If I want to shell out $50 for cannon armaments and the Ogre Gauntlet. Um, Clean that up. Beautiful. Beautiful. Clean that up. Let's see, we don't have any questions flying in, so I may go a little quiet for a bit. Oh, I may have a bad print. Well, you know, I kind of like it. We're actually going to name this Zoid. We're going to name him Punch Out. Because there's a hole where the casting was bad. We're calling you Punch Out. That or we'll call you Headshot or something. Someone can come up with a cool nickname for a Zoid that would have a hole punched in its muzzle. So yeah, that's not part of the model. That's actually a defect. I'm gonna say the store that I got it from would not probably take it back. I could probably reorder a runner for it, but I kind of like it. So it gives me a story behind it. This guy took a shot from a gun sniper or something in the face, even though that's a Republic Zoid. Or had a Rev Raptor jump on his face or something. Yeah, that's it. Or he took a blast from an Iron Kong. I think we can make a story out of that. Yeah, because here's the other side. As you can see, that's just one whole spot right there. No hole. It just makes this magnifying mark here, or magnifying glass shaped mark. My music. Does it just stop whenever I keep clicking off the library? It does. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, on to the other side of the face. And no, Scarface is too simple. We need something better than that. Beautiful Joe? No. Sounds too much like Beautiful Joe, and then I might get Capcom on my ass. Smudge that out. Oh yeah, this is murder on my hands too. If I do it too much with just my fingers, I will rub them raw. So yeah, it's such a curse. Tell you, there's a lot of tan on here. There we go. Nice hard sweep out of there. All right. So, if you really want some like encyclopedic knowledge of Zoids, I recommend Archie Rust. Uh, I think his name's Sir Phobos on Twitch. Uh, he knows so much. He has a whole room dedicated to Zoids. He has an entire massive diorama. And I believe he even has some of the original Whitehead Zoids. Um, I think during the recording of this song, someone had a dog barking in the background. Or they wanted to sound that. And there's goats, too, apparently. It's called Cash. There we go. Alright. Only a few more spots to hit. I'm going to retap you. That's better. Any other plans this weekend? Yeah. I plan to go swimming tomorrow with little baby Bray. Me and his grandmother are going to take him over to a pool. Beautiful. If anyone's in the chat, feel free to talk. You're not going to distract me. Do I have a personal opinion about the Gojulas? Nothing beyond what I've read, in the sense of it's a very powerful Zoid. It is slow beyond belief, but what it lacks in speed, it makes up for in raw power. All right. What a great sound to come up when I was just putting pieces next to each other. Oh, and don't forget, guys, tomorrow, Clay Dude streams. Sundays are his stream time. So he won't be doing anything like this. He'll probably be playing Donkey Kong or something. He asked if I could advertise for him, and sure enough, I will. Why am I lean to the side? Because it's comfortable. Alright, so we can move you. Oh, that's awesome. So they did smudge those in the... Yeah, okay. That's awesome. I'm hitting all the right smudge points. That's what I'm happy about. So this next one does not look like it's a smudge point at all. So we're going to add a little decorative piece. Looked like it was going to cut close, so... Clean up. Level. Got it. Got it. So that one I pulled was 11. Oh yeah, look at that. It's nice. A 16. Maybe 15 for this side. Ah, that's a one we'll have to do smudge on. Now, yes, I could have smudged that other piece, but if I don't have to, I won't. Because it doesn't really show it in the design. I could go over the top and just add it to make it look greased and weathered, but let's just say that that spot just didn't happen to get messy. Teeny tiny spots. Would I recommend the Zoids shows? A few of them I would. It comes down to like your temperament, really. Because there's one series I'm having a hard time watching, and that's Zoids Wild. Not because it's bad, it's actually pretty good. The Zoids are great. It's a little bit different take on it, but what drives me nuts is the main character is so annoying. He's so over the top confident, it's brutal to listen to him speak. He's like, I'm so-and-so, so-and-so, and I will be king, or something like that. It's not Harry, it's almost Harry Champ bad. From New Century. I really just have a hard time. I feel like the kid needs to be humbled a lot, and I do like the Zoids though. The Zoids are pretty neat, and some of the other characters are pretty neat as well. But yeah, just the main character of, I believe it was the Netflix version, uh, the one that released on Netflix. That one, oof, I just can't stand the guy. He's so desperate to make his like own Zoid team and stuff like that. And just, I mean, it's good to have a drive. It's good to have a story for your characters. But this one is just so bad. So are you gonna keep building off stream? If I do anything off stream, it'll probably be detailing, um, because I don't really need to do it. Uh, I have several models that are not detailed. Um, thing is that from the four that I've detailed so far, I'm really liking how they look line paneled. Some of them I can't line panel, and some of the other ones have a lot of space that needs to be line paneled. So it's kind of do I wanna or don't? And some of them I don't, but if I can if I can pull it to the box art level a bit, I'll be happy with that. Okay. Oh, that was beautiful. That hit everything I needed to hit. Do I build any other types of models? Yes, I do actually. I build Gunpla. I used to build car models for a while, but then it just kind of died on me because I could never get the paint to look right, and it bothered me so much. And then I switched to Gunpla because Gunpla comes pre-painted most of the times, and you only have to do a minimal amount of painting, if anything, and you can do it all by pin. So, and usually, uh, unless it's like a specific component, you don't really have to do much painting at all, and just do some panel lining, panel lining, and you're good to go. Um, so, all right, so we got these lovely little details here put on, these little greebles. So, so now we need the T's. That's T1, and then you are K1. So let's go ahead and move you two over there, and then let's do T1. Are there two T1 frames? Yes, there is. Forgot about that. If I could get the head done today, that'd be amazing. Alright. I want to do each one of these individually because there's an order to them. And also they're ribbed, so means that detailing might be a little harder. Oh yes, that did it. Haha, gotcha. In all honesty, it's only detail you'd see if you were here in person. Because if I show it to the camera, you might see it, you might not. But it adds so much. Alright, so what's next? 16? Trying to keep my fingers from going raw. And we'll have to do this again on the other side. So. Much better. Oh, that's good. Alright, so for these ribbed ones, what I do is I will completely black out the piece where the ribs are. Making sure to hit the groove and everything around it. Because there's a chance if I just did the grooves, I could end up washing the grooves out. So I like to leave a little bit of extra black on there so that when I swipe and smudge, the black will fall into the grooves. Pretty clever, huh? There we go. Nice and cleaned up. Everything hit the ribs. Nicely done. Just imagine the sheer power of being around one of these things. If they were real. I bet you'd feel like being around like a tank or a battleship or something like that. Only just think about it, not really do anything about it. Gotcha. Little booger. Tried to escape. Alright, so now for part 15. You fell out perfectly. Very little. T-gun gap. Okay. Alright. Get the smudge going. Alright, just gotta do that 3 more times. Have you pre-ordered for Helldivers yet? No, but I plan to. I believe either this or next week. Perfect. I think we could go ahead and put that piece on here. Oh yeah, nice good click. All right. Those are tiny. Okay. So now that I know that each one of these has a different back, I'll be able to cut all 3 out. done. What do my bracelets say? Oh, these are left over from Pride Month. Love is love, and love wins, is what they say. Um, just because Pride Month's over doesn't mean I still can't be supportive. I mean, there are members of our channel, part of the LGBT community. Actually, I'd say except for one, all of us are members of the LGBT community. So, okay, get some of that excess off. For those of you who have a link to it, Zoid's World just updated this week, this weekend. I think it's only for this weekend. It'll be available for download. So uh, I would get on over to it and check it out. Unfortunately, I don't really have permission to give the link out like in masse. I can give it to like a few people, but I can't give it to like everybody that asks. Just wanted to clean off my fingers a little bit. And yes, it's permanent marker. Um, Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, why use a permanent marker? It's so shiny." It actually, after I hit it with the wipe, it actually mutes the gloss in there, so it's not too bad. that's done. Has all the parts, has all the parts. Click that in. For you ASMR nuts out there. Lovely crack. There we go. Alright, next. Need one from A, one from... Yep. No, it sounds like a plan. It's my plan. Alrighty. Where are we at? We're at 12 minutes here, folks. In 12 minutes, we'll be taking our break. Back on the subject of like Zoids that I like or something like, there is a Zoid that makes me laugh because of the name change that it went through in the States. In the States, it's called the War Shark, but in Japan, it is originally called the War Dick. No joke. Why it was called that, I leave something in translation that I don't understand, but I'm sure that someone that understands Zoids more or understands just Japanese culture way more than me will probably be able to explain it way better than I can. So fresh one. There we go. Pull out that gray a bit more. Like a dusty baffle, pretty much. Beautiful. Slap that on there. Slap it to face. There we go. Oh, that looks like a mean shoe. Alright, can we finish this page before... maybe. Okay, looks like I can cinch up on that. There. So why the models? I do models because it helps me slow down. I have very my brain, as much as I love gaming and stuff like that, my brain runs in like panic mode a lot. Um, so this helps me slow down and actually think. Yes, the Xbox controller is there for me to control the Xbox because I have something dynamic going on in the background for me to keep me from staring over at the screen too long. So it helps me face forward and keep on my work. All right. This goes this way. Tiny pieces. Oh, a little bit mud there. Okay. But yeah, it allows me to work on something with my hands and just follow instruction, and it helps me just relax. So. Yeah, that's nice. Frame T1 over here. The music also helps. I was actually going to have my incense burner going, but with Baby Bray coming down, that's a little strong for him. So it's not like CBD or anything like that. It's just a lot of smoke, and he's a little guy, and it's just a little different for him. So got to be careful. And since a lot of incense is like oil based, or like scent oil based, um, in the cones and stuff like that, I just don't want him reacting to that too harshly or anything. So. Awesome. Is that piece in? That's good. K10. Right. And also, why not keep the controller nearby? It is Spartan 923 gaming after all. Gotta keep the gaming element in here. There we go. More of those nubs gone. Quick little. Now that we got good flow coming out of this pin, we can actually mark this up really fast. Then I'll do it with one big sweep with the rag. Alright, 4 minutes. Can I do the last two parts in 4 minutes? Okay. We are going to take our 15-minute break and our 10 to 15-minute break, and we'll be back continuing on from where we are. As far as our schedule goes, we will be resuming Assassin's Creed Shadows on Tuesday, getting more of those circles closed and continuing the story of Noe and Yosuke. We're getting close to the end on that, so be ready for new content coming out on that as well. Oh, that's beautiful. And then Thursday, we will either be in Ark Survival Ascended with Zoomzol, me, and Clay Dude, or we will be in Portal 2 co-op with Clay Dude. It all depends, because from what I found out, our lovely friend Zoomzol, uh, I believe a family member of his is having a baby, so he might have to leave to go meet the new member of the family. So, congratulations, Zoomzol, and becoming an uncle or relative of said new birth. So happy for you, buddy. As far as the channel goes, oh, and then Saturday we'll be back in this. As far as the channel goes, we are at 144 followers. And that's awesome. That's 6 away from our goal of 150. So feel free to tell your friends just, hey, you don't have to like this person, but go check out their stuff, or at least leave them a follow so that their stuff can get recognized and stuff like that. We appreciate that help a lot. Uh, Helps more than you know, getting our stuff mentioned and all that. But if you really want to help out the channel, make sure to subscribe. Get rid of those pesky ads, and also uh, it helps us out with grocery costs, maintenance, server fees, all that kind of stuff. It's really a big deal, guys. I'll tell you right now, it helps out so much. You won't, especially with the rising prices of stuff right now. It's ridiculous. What drink is it there? That's a body armor fruit drink. Uh, you caught me right at the outro there, Freddy. So, but let's see here. So yeah, this video I'll be putting up on YouTube here in a bit. Should be up around 8:30, 9 o'clock Central U.S. time, give or take, depending. Sometimes YouTube's very finicky, so, and doesn't like to play nice with me, so I have to sometimes delay uploads, or the uploads are naturally delayed, or they pinned for a day. It's all weird, so just bear with us on that. Also, don't forget, Sunday, I believe, is going to become Clay Dude's streaming night. So if you want to go check out some neat stuff on the Switch too, he'll have it up and running for you, hopefully. Um, just make sure to check his schedule so that if you go there on my say so, you make sure that he is actually scheduled and all that. So don't freak out on that. And don't blame me. You all are capable of checking out schedules yourself. I'm not your mom. But yeah. And with that, let's pop this thing on. Ooh, yay. Gonna probably rub that down a little more with oh, I still have 2 pieces I gotta put on there. But yeah, we're gonna stop there because I'm already 5 minutes past. Uh, Scheduled for 5 p.m. Central Time on Sunday, so check them out there. So with that, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take our break. Remember to get out there, discover, explore, create, innovate. Uh, I'll just do this all with my hands. Remember to get out there, discover, explore, create, innovate, and we'll see you here next time on Spartan 923 Gaming. Love you guys. Take it easy. See you in a few. Oh boy. Whew.